Hi you guys, it's me Rashida, the Yellowbag Traveler. So I wanted to film this segment today to try to help you guys avoid the mistake that I have made. So as many of you know, I've been filming this series that's like getting fit for Rio. And while it's like focusing on, you know, healthy meals, how to eat better when you're dining out, how to meal prep, how to do some tones the tush workouts. They weren't just designed to be, you know, in preparation for looking as good as I can look in Rio. They're more of kicking off 2018 with my, you know, best self, if you will. But, I mean, I still am going to Rio and I still want to look as fantastic as I can in Rio. So the reason why I'm filming this is because after all of this, I may not make it to Rio. So a friend of mine let me know that unlike the, I don't know, tens of, like, I don't want to say hundreds, but I've certainly been to at least 25 countries by now. I have never had an issue with like having to get any sort of visa or anything ahead of time, which is kind of problematic because it's made me, I guess, like a little like spoiled or a little like complacent in like reviewing these visa requirements, because usually what has happened is on the day that I arrive at the airport, like for example, I went to Cairo in November, and when you arrive in the airport in Egypt, they essentially, you know, you fill out a paper there, you pay $30, you get a visa, voila, it's in your passport. Like I went to Zimbabwe back in the fall, same kind of thing. You show up, you pay them $30, voila, you have a visa, okay? Like South Africa, you know, Germany, Italy, France, Costa Rica, Spain, Greece, like I have been to a lot of countries and I've never had any issues at all. So I didn't do my homework. And so this is why I am filming this segment for you guys, to remind you that please, 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 before you reserve any hotels, in my case, non-refundable, before you book any flights, you really need to check the visa requirements. So what's going on is that apparently Brazil has this like, you know, reciprocity agreement where, because apparently the US forces Brazilians to apply for a visa in person and, you know, basically jump through all these hoops, Brazil is having Americans do the same. So I found out about this like the first week in January, and I leave for South America on February 7th, which is like next week. But I'm thinking, okay, first week of January, it was a month before my trip. I filled out the application online, and the first available appointment they gave me is the week before my trip. So at this point, I have like realized that there's like a very high fee for this visa. It's $160, which I think is quite intense and insane, but that's a different conversation. You have to bring proof of the flight or your mode of transportation into and out of Brazil to prove that you're really only there as a tourist. You have to bring, I don't know, paperwork to show where you reside, that your home address is accurate. They want you to bring like a 2x2 inch passport photo, which, by the way, I went into Walgreens to see how much that is. It's like $17 for a photo. I'm like, dude, like, had I known, I'm going to Brazil for like a handful of days out of a 2.5 week trip to South America. Like, honestly, if I knew it was this much like of an issue, I probably would have just scrapped Brazil altogether. So I don't know, the purpose of this is not to kind of like be whining or anything, but it's really just to inform you so that you don't make the same mistakes that I do. Because at this point, I'm hoping that, fingers crossed, after jumping through all these hoops, after getting this $160 money order, which they will only take from the United States Postal Service, by the way, like the only people who don't take a check, don't take a credit card, don't even take cash, you have to make a separate trip to the post office to get this money order. I'm hoping that then when I then take time off work, I do have a first job, remember, to go there and like do this whole interview, that I am granted the visa the same day, otherwise it's for naught, and none of the fees are refundable. But anyway, I will keep you posted and let you know, but hopefully after, I don't know, 5 postings on Fit for Rio, hopefully I actually make it to Rio. But I don't know, keep me in your thoughts, you guys. In the interim, check out the blog, www.yellowbagtraveler.com, and check me out on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. All right, you guys, have a good rest of your weekend, and do not forget, preparation is key. Learn from my mistakes. Ciao.